Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And once again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And once again, welcome to Vampire the Masquerade YouTube experiment, or as it is also called, New Serum by Night. Now, there are a couple of housekeeping items that I have to get out of the way for this particular video / scene before we get started. Number one, you will see that I have a different lower third on here than I normally do. This is because of the fact that my Google Hangouts feature decided to pull a shenanigan with me today, and none of my add-ons are working, which means that neither my Hangout toolbox is not working, nor is my dice stream, nor any of the usuals. So I am putting all of my overlays through Manycam. They will not, because they will not share on the screen. To that end, I will be conducting screen share every time I do a dice roll for any one of the characters in this scene. This is just this way the dice rolls are recorded. So when you see a screen share, please look over to the, yes, to this side of the screen here. I believe it's where it is on my side. It's on one of the sides. Just, when you see the screen share, look on the right-hand side of your screen for where the dice rolls are, because that'll be, you'll see them in the screen share. So just look for the dice rolls on the right-hand side of the screen during the screen share. There may be a tunnel effect. Just try to ignore it. I'm sorry about that, but unfortunately, technical difficulties have forced me to find a workaround, and this is the only workaround that I could easily get my hands on. So, with that started, let's begin the scene. The scene begins with Joseph Swingy walking into the. The scene begins with Joseph Swingy walking into the. Walking back in after a rather lengthy. Lengthy couple of hours performance. He's a little tired out. I know vampires don't generally get tired, but it's been a bit of a drain on his system. He's been dealing with rambunctious kids way too out at night. He's been dealing with drunkards, some of whom are not particularly. He's even taken a deck or two to the face. By a couple of assholes who stole money out of his hat. So, yes, he would have gone down and probably clobbered them, and he didn't go into frenzy for it, luckily. But again, because this was general minor plot, I didn't do a scene for this, so again, it's just minor stuff. He's just had a rather nasty night. So coming in, drained and out of his mind, he sees Michael, his retainer, and he comes in and sees his retainer, Michael. So we'll close that off and transfer. Michael says, "Hey, boss, how'd your busking go?" Transferring back. And Joseph says, Joseph basically says, "Not well, Michael. Sadly, I don't think the new Ceramites have a. I don't think the new Ceramite kind, present company accepted, of course. I don't think some of the local new Ceramite kind population are actually that appropriate. They don't carry themselves appropriately anymore. The lack of manners in today's youth." And with that, he grimaces a little bit. At this, Joseph takes a look on the table and sees the mess. But rather than try, he turns and sees the mess initially. But rather than getting straight to the, rather than getting particularly annoyed or anything, he just simply attempts to keep his calm, and is about to turn and berate Michael for leaving such a mess that he's going to have to clean up, when he sees something a little bit off. And I'm going to roll perception empathy with aura control aura check. No, I'm just going to roll He thinks he sees something off, and I'm going to have him roll perception empathy with Auspex 2 aura perception, which will lower the difficulty by 2 since for aura check. And this is to check Michael's emotional state. So here we go. And with difficulty 5, that is. Excuse me, I have to screen share so this way I can show you what's going on here. And as I screen share, on the right here we have a 6, 8, and a 10. So that will be 3 success. So that will be 3 successes. Oh wait, I forgot to actually put my my specialty on perception. No matter, since I have 4 dots in it. No matter, I will take care of that after this scene, and then that will bump the 10 from 1 to 2 successes in future. So with 3 successes, and Joseph can tell from the perspective, Joseph can tell that something is off, and something is really off. You can tell from there that something is really off in Michael's perspective. Joseph asks Michael, okay, normally, Michael, I would berate you for leaving a mess like we have before, but what's wrong? You seem like you're out of sorts. You look like you've had a worse evening than I had. Sorry, boss. It's just this damn security thing. I keep trying, no matter how hard I try to install. I keep working on this blooded camera idea I keep working on this idea of trying to build a transmitter that will tap into the cell phone network with a really high encryption code. And I keep trying to use this radioactive decay thing that I found off the internet, but I can't seem to set it up for hide nor hair. I mean, I've been working on this for weeks, and it's just been. I mean, I've been working on this practically since you've been in torpor, and it's just been, I just can't get it. It's driving me up the fucking wall. Like, I'm a tech prodigy. I've been on the cutting edge of technology for years, and I still can't get this. Michael, Joseph, having already taken off his cloak and hat and everything, looks at Michael and says, Michael, didn't we have a problem like this once before? You wanted to try to set up a computer program. You were trying to install and use a computer program for an older version of Minitab. You were trying to use a version of Minitab to be able to try to calculate something, weren't you? And remember how you were having difficulty with that program? Yeah, boss, I remember. And what did we decide to do? And what did you end up having to do in that circumstance? I wound up having to come to you and I was particularly still in the exact. I should have come to you first with this, shouldn't I? Michael, you're like a son to me. I've told you this before, but again, we're a team here. If there's something you're having difficulty with, you need to come talk to me. If it's anything at all, I'm here. We can talk. Now, what specifically are you trying to do? Why don't you just tell me exactly what you're trying to do, and then we'll see if we can work on it together. Who knows? Maybe something will come out of this project. Well, boss, I've been trying to work on these ideas I've been trying to work on 3 new ideas for you. One of which is I've been trying to figure out a way to include smoke bombs in your cloak. The second of which is I've been trying to find a way to create a sort of fire trick based on something I saw Dynamo do, one of those magicians online. And the third thing I've been trying to do is I've been trying to set up this camera. It's supposed to go through the cell network, so this way I can look in on it anywhere for you and record from it. But the point is, though, is that in the process, I want it to be able to be high enough encrypted that that the rest of us humans can't make it practically impossible to crack. At this, Joseph, so I've been using this radioactive decay system here, based on I came across a website by the founder of AutoCAD, who set up a random number generator, used radioactive decay for this exact sort of thing. But when I try to replicate his technique, I just can't get it for hide nor hair. And all of this has been driving me up the wall because I can't seem to solve any of it. At this, Joseph shakes his head. Okay, I don't know much about the camera stuff or other things like that, but there is one thing I can tell you. If you're trying to set up a radioactive decay-based random number generator, I have actually worked with something like this before. Back in the a couple of decades ago, there was a guy I knew by the name of Helmut Schmidt. He's a parapsychologist who still works right now, and I was actually debunking one of his studies for another thing. But the point is, I did learn quite a bit about this. I also know a fair bit about setting up this technology. Here, what you need to do is let me look at the equipment. I'll show you what you need to do here. And with that, I'm going to roll intelligence science, specialty knowledge subject mathematics, knowledge specialty mathematics, because this is going to come in both for the statistical. This is in part going to be the science to set up the Geiger counter and connect it to the computer, and also simultaneously to set up the computer program for not so much the coding, but what he will need to do for the what statistical parameters he will need to set into the system. So with that in mind, I'm going to roll intelligence science for this, and we're going to go back to screen share. So hang on. My computer has decided to do a bit of a glitch right now, so please bear with. There we are. Good. So now, where were we? Okay, so now rolling intelligence science, we have... That's much better. So yes, with 4 success, so with 1, 2, 3, 4 successes, Joseph successfully explains to Michael what needs to be done. See, what you need to do, Michael, is you need to connect the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that your system is completely in a radiation-shielded box. So build a small, I know you've got some copper mesh kicking around. Build a small little Faraday cage for it, and then stick the Geiger counter inside it, so that this way you know that the only thing that will possibly, this will help eliminate the particle move-off, except to make sure that it hits the Faraday cage. The next thing you need to do is that when you're setting up the program, just set it up for a binary switch. Just set it up so this way you use the statistical parameters of the normal distribution. Does this make sense now? This is what you need to incorporate into the coding. Perhaps you'll be able to get this. Now with Michael says, I think I get the theory, but can you explain to me how to practically apply it to the tech problem we're working with here? Again, like I said, I mean, all this theory is still a little bit Greek to me. Joseph is going to roll an intelligence technology followed by an intelligence technology, an intelligence followed by an intelligence computers, followed by an intelligence craft to help start up the process and help Michael see where he needs to work with it. With Joseph coming up with a general concept to help set Michael and his prodigy in the thing in the right direction. So once again, we will go to screen share, and this is this guy. And once again, this is the first roll of intelligence computers. This is going to be intelligence technology first. So this is the intelligence technology. Again, there won't be any specialties for this one because of the fact that it's there will be no intelligence technology. Okay, so with that in mind, the intelligence technology. This is just to set up the Geiger counter. So followed by an intelligence crafts to put it all together. So the theory behind the intelligence technology for the Geiger counter, and here we go, and no successes. So yeah, apparently because of the fact that Joseph is having similar difficulty, he can't explain how to set that up. However, he is going to try on the computer random generator side, using knowledge special subject mathematics, to see whether or not they can at least set up the paradigm for how to set up a random number generator program to switch into the cryptography. So that one is going to be knowledge subject mathematics, and we'll see whether or not we can get that for a pseudo-random system that can be later upgraded. So here we go. This is explaining the theory behind that. And that doesn't work either. So, yeah. And now we're going to roll, but finally, we're going to have, but now here's the kicker. With this, we're now going to have Michael roll his. We're now going to have Michael roll his intelligence technology followed by his intelligence computers to see whether or not the faulty explanations that Joseph is doing due to misassumptions about technology, whether or not he will be able to figure it out himself. So hopefully this is the retainer's roll now. So this is Michael's roll of intelligence computers, which is 6 dice, intelligence technology, which is 6 dice, and let's see if he can figure out the theory behind it. And there is a neutralizing of the 10. There is a neutralizing of the 10. But there is one, but there are 2 successes still, so he does get an idea behind the theory. Not to worry, boss. I think I understand what you're trying to get at, though you're completely off on the technology. But I'm beginning to understand a bit more of where you're trying to get to with the Geiger counter end. Let me see if I understand. Let me see if I think I got it. Let me see if I understand it with the computer's end. So by trying to take the statistical assumptions in the theory at any rate and trying to find a way to reapply that into the source code and attempt to replicate the effect again. This is intelligence computers, so 6 dice at difficulty 6 at standard difficulty, and with any luck, so the 1 cancels out the 10. So the 1 cancels out the 10. However, based on the fact that there is still 2 successes, so he does have a partial idea behind the theory. Not to worry, boss. I think I got what you're getting at. It's more to do with the idea that we are. It's more to do with the idea that once I've. Okay, so what I have to do, boss, is basically I have to weld it completely shut so as to be able to get the Geiger counter there, and then I have to sync up so that the Geiger counter will actually do the reading software and link that via a source. Yeah, I'm gonna have to link that that source code into another program, which will actually generate the code. I'm not going to be able to write this from scratch. I'm literally going to have to copy out the exact technique that John Walker did. Now, luckily, I think I can do that, but we'll have to see. So, with the intelligence computers and the intelligence technology, with the ideas, we're now going to roll a single intelligence craft. We're going to roll 2 intelligence craft rolls for him. Now I have to pull up my retainer sheet from the forums, which is going to be a bit of a trick. So this requires that I locate. 1 second while I pull up the retainer sheet. I had mine on standby. So hang on. Over here. So hang on. Sorry. Apologies for the interruption to scene, but this is a behind-the-scenes technical difficulty moment that I have to address. Okay, so where are we here? Okay, now where was I? There is one more thing I have to do here. Here we go, Michael. So yes, his intelligence crafts is intelligence. Yeah, intelligence 3 crafts 2. So yeah, so this will be intelligence. This will be 5 dice. And to that end, we will go back to screen share again. And here we go again to deal with the. So this will be an intelligence. There will be 2 intelligence crafts rolls. This will be one to. To attempt to make the. We may actually make these into extended rolls as long as there's no failures. So let's make this an extended roll of 6 successes across 3 rolls for each. We'll just put it at standard difficulty because he now has a rough idea behind what it is he's trying to do. So the crafts is now to actually make the technology and actually get the software working right. So with the new calibration system, for the security end, and with the new security protocol. Okay, so here we go. So this will be intelligence crafts for Michael to see whether or not he can actually pull this off. And this is for the. This one is for the. These next 3 rolls are for the Geiger counter. If there's any botches, this will automatically be a flub on this. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. There's 1 success. Second roll of 5 dice. Here we go. Neutralized. So that's okay. So that was neutralized. So no successes. That's going to raise the difficulty by 1 to level 7. We'll expand this, say, to 5 rolls to give him time. Because this could take a couple of hours, and Joseph can help out too if anything comes up important. So let's give this another 5 dice. We'll expand it to 5 rolls for each, and if there's a botch, this will be it. So that was a failure. So that raised the difficulty by 1. So yeah, so that was because that was a failure. that was a full failure. That was the difficulty to difficulty 7. So roll 3, and we have 2 successes. So there's 3. Roll 4. Roll 4, and that 10 was neutralized, but there's still sorry, that 10 was neutralized, but there is still, that's 4 successes. Let's see how the next roll goes. This is for the Geiger counter, mind you. This is intelligence crafts for the Geiger counter, all of these rolls. And this one is 5 successes. So, okay, I said 6 to get it perfect, but with 5 successes, he's still pretty good. So, with 5 successes, we'll say that he manages to set up the technology. It is a bit finicky and might require repairs later, but at least it is barely functioning. So with that in mind, we've done that, and now he will do an intelligence crafts roll to make sure that he's got it connected to the computer properly and set up the appropriate security protocols. So this will be the same thing. We'll put it between 5 or 6 rolls. 6 will be ideal. 5 is kind of shaky. Anything under that, and we're going to say that this is not good enough for practical purposes. So here we go. Again, now because of the fact that, again, he's using intelligence crafts, difficulty is starting at 7 in light of the failure during that previous set of 5. So let's give this another try. Here we go. This is for the computer end of it now. The random number generator being properly set up as the seed for the cryptography program, as setting up the cryptography program for the cryptographic link. And here we go in 3, 2, 1. First one, difficulty 7, so no successes due to the ones canceling out the successes. This is a failure, not a botch, so it's a failure on the first roll. So it's just rolled to it's just risen to difficulty 8. So note to self on that one, and we'll roll number 2 here. That was rolled to difficulty. That was raised to difficulty 8, and 2 successes. So that's at least something. That's 2 successes in the second roll. Roll 3, and what do we get on this one? Okay, so there, the 10 and the 1 got neutralized, but there was 1 success, so that's 3 successes on roll 3. Roll 4. This is roll 4 coming up. At difficulty 8, that's 2 successes, so there's 5. So there's 5, and roll 5 coming up right now. And for good measure, here we go. Last roll. 10 and the 1, the ones neutralized the. No, that was a failure. So exactly 5 successes. So again, it means that it is completed, but it is it is completed, but it is mediocre. So with a couple of failures in there, with the difficulty raised, Michael. So anyway, shutting off the screen share, Joseph says to Michael, "Do you think you've got it now?" Well, I don't know, boss. See, that's the thing. I mean, you know, I've been working on this now for a couple of hours, and you know, I mean, I've been working on this for a couple of hours, etc. I mean, I think I got it, but it's not perfect. You know, it's gonna be, you know, I mean, I put the security measures in, but it's gonna be probably a bit easier to, even with the radioactive decay system. The problem is it's gonna be finicky, and I think there might be a flaw in there somewhere. So you know, even with the random seed, the true random seed, like we thought, there's probably going to be a couple of flaws in there that will make this less random, which means it might be subject to hacking a little bit later down the line. Best case scenario, we're looking maybe at a difficulty 7 or 8 to hack, as opposed to making this like a you know, like on a scale of 1 to 10. I'd say that if I were an independent guy trying to hack this, I might at best be able to, you know, I might at best be able to make it, say, a difficulty 8 on a scale out of 1 to 10. Probably closer to a difficulty 7 to hack. So yeah, this is going to be getting the security on this guy for ongoing transmission is going to be difficult. Joseph says, Joseph actually says, so what's this about this transmitter that you've been working on? What's this idea? Well, what's been going on with that is that, again, that's not the issue for me. The primary problem was that, again, I was trying to set up this thing. Now that I've got the security code set up, I can easily make an attempt to roll for. I can easily try to connect this to an already existing system called IP Cam, IP Webcam, IP Cam, and TinyCam Free Monitor. These are going to be programs that will be attached apps to your your cell phone camera. This will just be turned in, gone directly to your cell phone to turn it into a webcam. And the other one, TinyCam Free Monitor, once we've got the IP address, will allow me to plug it in and watch from a computer practically anywhere. The only reason I'm putting the security factor on is so this way it can't be hacked through the cell phone network. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a dicey risk. We may have some problems here. Joseph, in response to this, says. Okay, well, the fact is that you've at least got some degree of ideas on this. And again, I really don't know much about the latest software out there. So I will leave this in your capable hands. Let's not build it yet for the public. But or when I say for the public, let's not use it. Let's not use this tech just yet. But the fact is that you've at least got an encryption baseline. You've at least set up the basis, which means with a bit more finessing, you could probably get it to work later. With a bit more finessing, you could probably get it to work later. So we've at least built this far. So let's at least leave this for the moment. Come back to it another night, and we'll come back to it another night or day, and we'll see how this improves then. It's okay. Whatchamacallit? Sorry. Like I said, it's okay. It's okay, Michael. I understand that you were having difficulty with this. So I understand that you were having difficulty with it. So it's all right. Let's just work it out. Let's just work it out. Let's take it one step at a time. And with that, now hang on. On the other things. Number one, sorry, I lost my train of thought out of character. One moment. Back into character. So Joseph says to Michael, now about the other two things you've been working on. The first one is that you've been working on, you said that you've been working on trying to incorporate smoke bombs into my cloak. With this, Joseph says, Michael says, yeah, boss. I mean, I've been trying to get this, I've been trying to figure out a way to conceal smoke bombs in your cloak, but I just haven't been able to figure it out. With that, Joseph says, these were the smoke bombs you bought a little while ago, and you had them off to the side and couldn't quite figure out what to do with them. In a nutshell, yeah, boss. Joseph says, okay, let me worry about that one. Let me worry about that one. I've already got some ideas on how to handle this issue. And with that, I'm going to go back to screen share and have him roll Dex Larceny, specialty in misdirection, to attempt to find a way to hide them in his cloak. So we're going to go to here again, to the screen share. So with 6 dice, specialty, Dex and Larceny. This is just to get the baseline. Because of the fact that it was specialty in misdirection, because of the fact that, again, he is a magician with 45 years in the business, I'm dropping his difficulty level down to level 5 as opposed to standard difficulty. It's not that much of a difference, but again, it's just because, again, he knows about how to, he's done this kind of shit before, quite a bit actually. So with that, roll Dex and Larceny at specialty and declaring specialty of misdirection in the process. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. So with that in mind, Joseph easily takes those and pops them into his cloak, and then puts them in the cloak and just deals with that. And then I don't have the cloak with me; it's all the way over there, so I'm not going to bother. I'll re-show the technique at a later point in a later video. But as he shows it, I'm going to actually have him roll Dex Perform. On top of that, I'm going to have him put his cloak on and have him roll Dex Perform. On top of that, to show, we'll put the screen share back on, roll Dex Perform to see, or roll Charisma Performance to see how impressed Michael is. Let's just see whether or not, because Michael's been around for a while. So this will actually be difficulty 7 because of the fact that Michael has seen quite a fair bit of Joseph's work performance over the past 15 years. So we'll bump this to difficulty 7 as opposed to difficulty 5, and we'll see how impressive he makes it look. So with that in mind, he does that, and 5 dice. Here we go. 2, 3 successes. So with that in mind, as we pull this up, Michael takes a look and says, nods. And Michael nods and says, "Hey, that's quite impressive, boss. If you can pull it off for me, maybe you can pull it off for the rest of them. What do you call them, kindred?" Possibly, Michael. We'll see how it plays out. Anyway, that's that one. Now, as for the flame thing, don't worry about that. I've already got a technique, and with that, we're going to now going to scroll through and do the Dex Larceny again. We're going to do the screen share. We're going to do the screen share again. Sorry, screen share. Bit of a glitch there. So this one's going to be Dex. This one's going to be Dex Larceny again. Again, subject misdirection. So specialty misdirection. So 6 dice. No, 6, not 7. And roll. This will be difficult. Oh, before I do that, I have to make him do his courage roll. Sorry, I forgot about. Actually, no. Dex Larceny roll, followed by courage roll, then followed by charisma performance roll. So, oh wait, I did Dex roll perform last time. I want to actually do charisma performance. So we'll correct it this time. So first, this is Dex Larceny to try to do the fire trick, and not successful. Which I mean is that he's probably going to fail his courage roll in the process. 4. No, he keeps his courage roll. So with his Dex Larceny roll not working, but because of the 3 successes, he does make his courage roll, so he doesn't frenzy on it. With that, we see the effect where he opens his hand again, and proceeds to set a little fire and a little wave around, and then proceeds to shut his hand down. Switching back over to Michael says, "Boss, you kind of showed your mechanism in the process there by flipping your hand around frontwards. I saw the little ring and bowl on there. You're gonna have to remember not when you're flashing it around not to show that. What was it you said to me once, boss? Your hand has more windows. Your hand has more windows than a skyscraper." Joseph nods and basically says, "Yeah, I probably kind of got a little too cocky there. Sorry about that. But my point being is that again, I've already got a fire trick that will already address this issue. As long as I have Dio spray on my hand, as long as I have a little Dio spray on my hand, or a little flame gel, I can use the classic flint flasher with flash paper and set off the fire that way. Again, it's not the end of the world. I've already got a trick for that. And if I need a fire-based thing, like don't worry about trying to do something a la Dynamo. Oftentimes that's really too complicated. Keep it simple. So I mean, I understand why you wanted the security measure for the camera. Keep working on that. I'll take care of the smoke bombs and the fire thing. You handle the camera security, and when you're sure you've got it down pat, let me know and we'll incorporate it into my outfit. Otherwise, don't worry about it for now. Michael says, dropping the lower third. Michael says, "Okay, boss. Yeah." And with that, he kind of shakes his head and goes back to his work a little bit. At this point, I'm going to flip to screen share and have. I'm going to flip to screen share if I can get it open. Sorry, my mouse seems to be deciding to. Hey, where was I? So yes, as I'm doing that, Michael has a bit of a sullen expression on his face, and with that in mind, I'm going to have Joseph roll another perception empathy. This time again with difficulty. Difficulty lowered by 2 by using aura perception to check on him. And by using that to difficulty 4, that's 1, 2, 3 successes from standard difficulty. Michael, cancel the screen share. Joseph, as Michael kind of goes back to his work a bit sullen, Joseph kind of looks at him and goes, "You're still not feeling well, are you?" Michael nods, and you see a small tear in his eye. At this, Joseph remembers. At this, Joseph nods and says, "Today's the anniversary, isn't it?" And and Michael nods and says, "You still think after 15 years it wouldn't hurt as much?" As Joseph nods and says, I know you miss her, but hey, hey, we do the best we can by helping those who live on through our memories, Michael. I don't know if I told you that to this day the 15-year-old girl who died by that vampire back in Romania, by that Malkavian back in Romania, still haunts me to this day. And hey, she still haunts me to this day. I know. I know what it's like to miss someone, and I remember your mother. I mean, she was a wonderful woman. I mean, I understand. Yeah, but I mean, it's just the way it is, boss. I mean, that's the reason I still joined up with you. I mean, I wanted to make sure that nothing happened to others that happened to my mom. And it's not just that, boss. I mean, it's partly the anniversary, but I was looking online today and I discovered what happened. The guy in question who ended up the guy in question, several years ago, I discovered he got out of prison. And I only just discovered this today when I was doing backlogs and stuff on another debunk, checking back your track record. Somebody posted about how the guy managed to get a reduced sentence recently and managed to get out on quote good behavior, and he's back at it again. He's back at it again, and people are falling for the same shit. It makes me wonder, like if these fraudsters and these oppressors, if these people, who kill people like they did my ma. By taking away our family savings and not allowing her, and not allowing her to go see a doctor, for her cancer. I mean, like, how, if they're coming back out and doing this over and over again, how are we, how are we making any difference? Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect, Michael. Rest assured, we are making a difference. How many kindred? How many times by covering up a breach of the masquerade, or by exposing a fraudster, have we actually saved lives? Remember that Sedite back in Charleston that we dealt with? Yeah, if he had actually gone through with his plan as a rogue, apparently as a rogue or whatever the heck he was, he would have done a mass schooling or a mass embrace. Well, from what I could tell, a mass embrace. He would have turned a large army. He would have deprived a whole bunch of people of their right to be a vampire. He would have just taken an entire group and tried to do a mass control, and probably tried to destroy most of the world in the process, if he could have gotten away with it. We stopped him. We saved lives. Those people who were under his spell, when they were reverted, went back to normal lives afterwards. We are making a difference. I'd like to think we are, boss. It's just, it's just like, when these core, when the ones that drive us are still out there, what are we supposed to do? We do what we always do, Michael. We do what we always do. I know it hurts, and believe me, I know it hurts that this guy got back out on the, I know that it hurts that you had to find out today, I know that it hurts that you had to find out that this guy got back out. And believe me, it blindsides me too. But we will handle it one way or another. When he starts creeping back up and when he starts getting in full swing of doing his business again, and he starts getting a following, we will be there. We will expose not only the old work, but we will find methods of getting people in there to expose his new methodology. This will be dealt with. Rest assured, we will handle this, and we will have this dealt with. We will get this dealt with. I believe you, boss. Just you know, just when you go back after him, make sure I'm there. I want to be there in person, and I want to see the look on his face when we finally thwarted him. So this time he can know that it was a victim that overturned it, that managed to stop him in his tracks. It's okay, Michael. I understand. Rest assured, we will have. Rest assured, you will have justice for what happened. We will get this dealt with. But right now, I need a bit of a. Do you mind if I feed off of you a little bit? I just need another. I need a point to top me off. I need a point to top me off. I've been. I need another point to top me off. I haven't been. I've been busy for the past little while. And with that translation, Michael says, "Truth be told, boss, I've been kind of suffering dizzy spells and stuff like that lately. I'm getting rather low on blood anymore, and I might start having health problems. Like I'm already starting to feel like dizzy spells and other stuff like that from losing too much blood." At this, Joseph goes. I'm going out for a little while. I may have to feed, and I'm not gonna like. I'm gonna have to feed, and I'm not gonna like how this is gonna work. All right, I'm gonna have to feed off. I'm gonna have to feed off mortals, and I'm not liking this right now. And at this point, we're going to screen share to see whether or not my character can roll a frenzy roll. Because of his prey exclusion, this is now actually going to fight his own. We're now going to fight his own prey exclusion. This is first going to be a frenzy roll. So self-control, which I believe is 3 on him. Yeah, self-control. So. Oh wait, this is conscience conviction. Wait, sorry, actually. Wait, I keep rolling self-control as 4 when he actually has 3. Damn it, I gotta remember to read the sheet before I do the rolls. Anyway, no worries. The 3 successes will compensate anyway. But yeah, so anyway, where were we? So yeah, roll self-control at 3, self-control / instinct to try not to frenzy. 1 success, so he barely staves off frenzy. Now we're gonna have him roll a humanity check. Rolling humanity 7. To make sure that he doesn't fall prey to the... Oh wait, no, the humanity roll will be his conscience conviction. So that'll be 4 dice to not fall prey to lose a humanity level. He loses the humanity level. So yeah, I just lost a humanity level. Down to 6. Joy. So yeah, Joseph, failing the humanity roll, basically says... Joseph, failing the humanity roll, basically says, "Here's the problem, Michael. I've been trying to feed off you, and the fact that I've been relying on you too much is making things difficult. So I will find a way to get nominal consent or avoid oppression in the process. But here's the problem. In the process of this, I'm going to have to start loosening the methods as to what I count as oppression at this point, or lack of consent. Yeah, the fact that you're starting to suffer health concerns is going to be a bit of an issue here." And with that, he doesn't, he feels a bit bad about it, but realizes ends justify the means. And with that, he goes out and attempts to feed on someone and attempts to find a way to manipulate them into believing that that giving him blood will actually be a good idea overall. And with that, the scene ends.